why is that so? I understand the bits about a witness not being there and the prosecutor saying without the witness we are in trouble. But these, for me, appear to be instances where a case of corruption can be prosecuted if IPID pushes it that they should be prosecuted for corruption, and your witnesses are EMPD and his records, or Mr. Magagula and his records. Why is that not done or not doable?
Such decision lies with the prosecuting authority because they have all these facts. IPID are not the one that decide that this matter must continue, even if we will wish to do so. But the prosecuting authority is the one to formulate the charges. This is one of many dockets where criminal charges are being withdrawn, even if we are not happy. So that decision of prosecuting without the witness lies with them. There was another case, a simple case because it was shown in media also. It was corruption. The police were seen loading copper. We arrested those police officers, and then it was 2 of them. We investigated, finalized, and then it reached that stage of trial, and then came the time for subpoena. We tried to locate the address of the witness. Now the witness was running away from us. At some stage he was picking his phone until he did not pick his phone. And we had the DPP did not immediately, like in this case also, did not immediately withdraw the case. They said, make effort. At the end of the day, we didn't find the complainant, and then it was withdrawn. So without the victim, the powers lies with the prosecuting authority. So we as IPID, we cannot say.
Does the IPID engage, and not on a case by case basis, with the NDPP, if not NDPP, whatever appropriate structure that deals with prosecutions, to deal with these kind of cases? Because to me, a civilian, it doesn't make sense that just because the complainant to a case of theft has disappeared, police cannot be, EMPD members are not charged for corruption when there is objective evidence of that constitutes a criminal offense, right? Is there a process where you engage? And I want to give you context of it, that we've had evidence, for example, about KZN, political killings, that there were complaints about matters being withdrawn, and the police were complaining that the prosecution withdraws cases on the basis that there isn't enough evidence to proceed with prosecution. And the police believe we have given you sufficient, and as a result, a forum was set up where now they engage with each other, and they go to a point where now there's a proper understanding of what is possible, what is doable, why certain things are not happening. It seems to me that it should be the kind of things that are addressed, not on a case-by-case basis, but as, if you like, operating procedures or memoranda that, there are cases that are complainant dependent, but there are cases that are not complainant from the same facts. Some charges are not complainant dependent, and surely they should be prosecuted. And there could not be an excuse why Stolz has ended up resigning without being charged for something like this, for corruption, in fact. Is there a forum where the prosecution and the IPID engage with each other about matters and problems and how to improve prosecution rates and.
Yes, there is such meetings where IPD engage with NPA.
What is that engagement? I mean, maybe you're not the one to speak to it. If you say to us, Mr. Kefelakai is better placed, or even the executive director of IPD, if you say to us, that's the person that is better placed to speak to this, I'm happy to leave it.
Yeah, in our province, I will say Mr. Ndlovu is better placed to speak to this because he is the one who is attending such meeting with NPA.
And what is Mr. Ndlovu's position?
Deputy Director.
For Gauteng?
Yeah, his full name is Sandile Ndlovu.
All right.
He attend the meeting, I'm sure it's monthly, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. So he would be able to say what those engagements are about and whether, and from him we'll know whether these kind of matters that we are raising get addressed, or that I'm raising. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Law, our list is growing. Remember, I think we started with Mr. Kefelakai and then Ms. Masuku, and now...
No, Ms. Masuku was the witness yesterday.
Yes, and today I don't think this is the first subject. Can you please...
Yes, we are keeping a running
keep a running list
check.
of all these and...
Matters to be referred to their seniors for engagement with the Commission.
For full,
Indeed.
Yeah. Thank you.
We shall, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Staying then with this matter, I just want to deal with two things before we finish here. Please go to page 220 of Annexure TLM2, the same file. 220, it's top right corner in red. That is a document bearing Benonicus number 215/07/2022, and it's just headed memorandum. What is this document? Who's the author of this document? Well, it provides a summary of the case. I just wanted perhaps to know
it is the summary,
who compiled it.
Yeah, of the case, and it was compiled by...
Because just to assist, at page 222 at the end, the last entry is comments. SPP for your recommendation, please. Are you able to help us identify what the document is and who authored it?
Warrant Officer Ben.
Warrant Officer Ben?
Yes.
Was that the investigating officer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and thank you for that. I see from this document, in particular, I'd like to refer you to page 221, item 9. And at item 9 is a summary of what would appear to be Constable Mackenzie's statement, as was obtained in this matter. I'm going to read a few lines to you, and I'm going to pose a question, and I don't know if you have the answer, because I don't know these matters. Constable Mackenzie, in brackets A9, will state that he was on duty when he, Constable Stolz, and Constable Twala visited the supermarket. Inside, they found one Indian and one African male. They requested documentation authorizing the trade of cigarettes, but was told that the manager was not there and available to come to the shop either. Now, this is from a police officer. Can you tell us more about the documentation authorizing the trade of cigarettes? I personally am not aware of it. What documentation could they potentially have been looking for? Do you know?
They will be looking for the invoice of cigarette inside the where did they buy the cigarette?
Why does that become a police matter and how? If you know.
This one I do not know, but what I can say, the cigarettes that was inside the shop, because the owner bought that cigarette.
Are you, in your experience, would this conduct where EMPD officials take the initiative to go into a random shop and ask for proof of ownership of the cigarettes or any other stock in the shop? Is that lawful in your view?
It is not lawful. Those things is in municipality. I don't know that unit. There are those people dedicated to go and check the shops if they are compliance. For instance, it is a shop where they sell food. There are certificates that are being given by the municipality, and there will be a tax certificate from SARS. So it is not the duties of the EMPD to do such things.
Thank you. And on that statement, I see you advise that it was authored by Warrant Officer Ben. At page 222, at item 18.
Just to close off the point you just made. In essence, this was a search and seizure. And the default position with regards to searches and seizures is to have a warrant, a search and seizure warrant. And the exception is if you reasonably believe that by first going to obtain a search and seizure warrant, the purpose of the search and seizure warrant may well be defeated. Yeah. So you search and seize immediately. But now you have cigarettes, they are the stock in the shop, and what reasonable belief could there have been that these cigarettes would suddenly disappear and that you cannot first obtain a search and seizure warrant before you search for and you then seize them. I guess the point I'm making ties in with what Ms. Sillo has just made, and indeed with a point that Commissioner Baloyi made much earlier. Commissioner Baloyi's point being, oh gosh, I forget what it was now. But point is, it was, why did the NPA not prosecute? There was objective material for it to prosecute. For example, why I say what I've just said ties in with that point by Commissioner Baloyi is, here you have police officers, they just pop in, they search and seize, no warrant of arrest, or no search and seizure warrant, in circumstances where there was no reason for them not to first go and get a search and seizure warrant. So there are, as Commissioner Baloyi said, objective facts that appear to be sufficient to ground a prosecution. Again, I guess it's not criticizing you, it's more the issue of the NPA.
Thank you, Chair. I'd referred us to page 222, and because you had informed us that the author of the document is Warrant Officer Ben. At item 18, there's just an entry, I/O, that investigating officer statement by DWO Ben, A18. So that is the Ben you say is the author of this document. Thank you. And I guess on this file, lastly, if you turn to page 249. This is a handwritten document. At the bottom, I think, it's dated 2023/05, but it doesn't give me an actual date. It appears on its face to be by Brigadier Julius Dr. Mkhwanazi, who sets out his ID number, employed by the city of Ekurhuleni as the Metropolitan Police Director at EMPD. Can you explain what this document is? It doesn't have a covering page.
This document is called the Commander Statement. Commander Statement, duty on, duty off statement to confirm that these members that are subject of investigation are working in his unit and they were on duty on the day of the incident.
Now, I'll come back to this question. Just to place on record what then Brigadier Mkhwanazi tells us. He says, and I quote, "One would like to confirm that Officer Bafana Twala, Officer Adrian Mackenzie were on duty with Officer Keisha Stalls doing crime prevention in Ekurhuleni on the 6th of July 2022, working at Binoni area." That's the second paragraph I'm reading. And the final paragraph states, "I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day." And then it's signed and has got a number, I guess it's his service number. So you say this is a commander statement?
Yes.
He confirms that they were on duty?
Yes, he confirms.
But it doesn't tell you whether or not they were engaged in a lawful operation that is registered within the EMPD.
Yes, it doesn't tell
How
you.
do you establish that that was the fact, that they were actually undertaking a lawful operation as instructed by the commander or in terms of EMPD legislation, related legislation?
In this statement, he never told us anything about the operation, if it is lawful or it was unlawful. But the purpose of the duty on, duty off statement is to also touch on that.
Now, I think this is the second statement we see from Brigadier Mkhwanazi. And I think his commander statements are famous for brevity. We dealt with a document called SAP 299. You recall, it was an official form.
Yes.
That then has to be completed. We have in the files an SAP 13 that you have referred to. And once again, that is an official document that poses certain questions that must be responded to. Is there a document that prescribes how a duty on, duty off report by a commander should be and what information he shall provide? Or is it up to every commander to decide what information to provide?
There is no such document to state what the commander must state in his statement.
Now, you as an investigating officer for IPID, when you receive a document such as this, which simply tells you that they were on duty on the specific date, and then the commander says, "I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day," and that's it. What value is this document to you, to your investigations?
This document, the value of it will show me that, okay, these members is to confirm that indeed they are EMPD members, and then they were on duty or off duty. On duty and off duty, it will show me if they acted on their own initiative whilst not on duty. So in this scenario, Julius Mkhwanazi is telling me that these people were on duty, so he is tying himself that they were on duty. So the predicament with EMPD is that they have no official register to check that indeed this person on this day was on official duty. In SAPS, we found those registers as SAP 15 is an official register. You can't throw it away. When you feel it, it will be filed that this member on this day was on duty. Even if you come after 3 years, that no man, you committed a crime somewhere in Nelspruit, we want to check that you were on duty on that day. So this one of EMPD, you'll get that statement on that day. So you'll get you'll got those answers from those registers like but they do not have, their things are not, there is no logic. Like stalls can simply wake up 12 o'clock midnight and go and do your duties. Tomorrow, when something has happened, we come to Julius to say, can you tell us, do you know this member? Is it your member? He will say, it's my member. Was she on duty? 12 o'clock midnight, Julius will write 3 sentences and say, she's my member. She was on duty. I'm aware she was working in the area of Cape Town Park. So the EMP, how they work, most especially in specialized unit, you can. It seems as if you just do the job willy-nilly. You can wake up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I don't know how they work. There is no order. Basically, what I'm meaning, there is no order.
If I can follow up on that, what power do you have to compel somebody like Brigadier Mkhwanazi as commander to provide more detail than I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day? I was informed by who? Do you have any powers?
To provide more detail, yes.
To compel him to provide more details?
Yes.
Or are you forced to accept the report as he chooses to write it with this bare minimum?
No, we do have more power. We do have power to ask him to answer whatever we want, unless if he himself is a suspect, because there we must respect his constitutional right. But in terms of him not being a suspect, he must answer to what we are looking for.
Then, if we go back to the questions posed to you by Commissioner Baloyi and the chair, this is a clear case of corruption. You, as the investigator, are provided with this word salad that Brigadier Mkhwanazi puts forward as a commander statement. What steps did you take to ensure that he provides you with